What is up, everybody? It's Bloodstalker, and we're back with our part 2 of Subnautica. Sorry it took so long, but meaning to get this out. I want to do a clean recording where I don't have to worry about sound issues and stuff, and I've got it fixed, so we shouldn't have to deal with that too much more. Now, we're still in the Aurora, and we're in here fixing in the radiation leaks. You have 10 or 11, I think 11 or 10 spots you have to fix. And you just basically need your repair tool. Now, when you come over to the Aurora, you want to make sure you have at least 1 or 2 fire extinguishers, a laser cutter. A laser cutter is a thing. You need to bring it with you. You want to have a welding torch so you can repair things. And you want to be wearing a radiation chute. Otherwise, you're going to die from the radiation. Now, it's kind of cool, though. You can actually use if you're in a, see, you can actually use the fire extinguisher to, like, get away. It's kind of cool. So we need to repair this. We're going to get this done. Now, we're still after the prawn suit, so we're going to get that here in a little bit. The Aurora, this part of the game is pretty fun because you go back to the Aurora. When they first developed the game, they had so much stuff that was missing in this. You just had one little room you went into, and you just basically, this is the only thing you did was repair. Since then, they have added so much more to the Aurora. I mean, it is huge now, the amount of stuff to explore. And there's a lot of good blueprints over here for, like, decorative stuff. We ended up coming away from this with a lot of blueprints. We actually came away with posters, too. They have posters in the game you can collect and put up on your wall in your base. And I got a prawn poster, baby. I'm so excited. But enough about that. Subnautica has come a long way since this came out. That's why I was wanting to do. That's why I'm wanting to get back into doing a series on it and be a little bit more serious about it because there's so much stuff to do. The prawn suit is a key element in getting to the new stuff because you have to have it. You can't take a sub down there to the lower thermal base where the power is coming to the precursor that shoots down the sun chaser. There is no way to get around that. That's gonna happen. I've seen a lot of YouTubers have been doing live streams on it and then trying to circumvent it to see if they could stop it, thinking that they're not infected. Pretty much from the point you land on this planet, you become infected. It's just happening, and I hate those stupid things. Those things are so annoying. They do a pretty good amount of damage too when they suck your blood. So anyway, we're almost done here. We're going to finish repairing this up, and then once you do that, it stabilizes and the radiation around the area is gone. So, see, look at that. You can't even cut them. Look like you're trying to cut your own hand off. It's so sad. There, I killed that one. I hate those things. As far as weapons go in this game, you really don't have any that you personally can carry. You have, like, the repulsor cannon and the propulsor. I can't even say it right. You have the repeller and the dragger. That's what I'm going to call it. You can bring things to yourself or you can push it away. Now, there are upgrades for the Sea Moth where you can add missile launchers to it. You can add all sorts of stuff, storage to it, whatever you want. You can also upgrade the prawn suit to a lot of stuff. Now, the prawn suit is... Yeah. See, it's
radiation levels are estimated to return to safe levels in T-3 days.
So in 3 days, radiation will be gone. But I have a funny feeling that the radiation suit's going to come into play. So, when it comes to this game, though, man, the story is so deep and rich and awesome. And I don't know how much more I'm going to keep playing of this for you guys. For the simple fact that it doesn't do really well on the channel. But I want to keep playing Subnautica. I'm ditching Osiris, like I've said before. So we're going to be doing... The main games on this channel right now are going to be Conan, Subsistence, of course, Ark, the vanilla Ark series, which I don't know. The first video did really good. The second one went up today while I'm editing this video. Or not while I'm editing it, but it came up earlier this afternoon. Tonight, it's late tonight on Tuesday night, so I'm doing the voiceover for this one. But yeah, so I don't know. You guys let me know. There's some people that really want to see it and some people that don't. But I think I'm going to keep playing it because I enjoy doing it. I know Osiris just doesn't do well. It doesn't seem to get a lot of likes, and that's kind of what I judge it. The views, not so much. I mean, if a video gets, like, you know, a handful of views, 15, 20, 30 views, but there's a lot of likes on it, that means that I'm going to keep doing it because there's a select few of you guys that want to see it. So I'm going to do that content for you guys. 7 Days to Die on single player, that is. I'm probably going to wait until Alpha 16 comes out and probably put that on pause for a little bit. I don't know yet. I'm still debating. I really like playing 7 Days to Die, but we're doing the multiplayer, so at least I'm going to get my fix in that way. Like I said, the ARC videos. Outer Reach, I'm going to start doing some Outer Reach videos because I really want to get more into that because I've never done a lot of the stuff in it. It's totally different. So, we're back inside here. I actually had to go out and get a laser cutter at this point. Which I went and got that. And that was a pain in the butt to go get. Let me just tell you, because I thought I had the materials on the sub. I didn't, so I had to go back to home. I had to go all the way back to base, which is like 1,500 meters away. It's pretty far away, so as you can tell, or 1,700 actually from here. So anyway, now we're getting into this. This is why I'm talking about you need the laser cutter. And there's that little dude right there. These things are so annoying. Die, die, and die. So now we're getting into the meat and bones of getting this suit. This is the best stuff ever. Once you get into this room, man, there is so much stuff in here to search through. That's kind of why this got broken up into 2 videos, because you can literally spend, I mean, I think I was in this, I played for 2.5 hours, I believe, the night I recorded these 2 episodes. And, you know, a lot of that was because of my screwing up. I had to go back twice. I had to go back to my ship twice. One was to get, I can't remember what it was. It was something else, and I had to come back and get the laser cutter. Well, yeah, it was a thing. There are a lot of med kits that you can find on the way through this little walkthrough of the going back to the Aurora. There's a lot of materials, like if you're playing where you're playing in survival where you need food and water, there's a lot of nutrient bars. There's a lot of water, distilled water. There's a lot of everything. So I'm just looking around for anything to scan at this point. I didn't find anything else in here. This room's pretty much, unless I might have overlooked something, because at this point I was getting kind of antsy about doing it because I've been playing for so long and I was ready to just get done with it. I really wanted the prawn suit, but then I got sucked into searching rooms because it was so cool. The reason that the fire extinguishers are so important is because of this crap right here. You don't have to put them out. I recommend you do. Because burning, you'll take a lot of damage. Just stand there trying to get in the doors and stuff. And sometimes it's just easier to do it. Now you will run into and find another fire extinguisher in here while you're running around. So, but I would definitely take 2 just to be on the safe side. So we got to repair the door to get in through here. And I hate trying to do the hot bar system. I really wish it was a better way of doing it, but it is what it is. Come on, see. You gotta get right close enough to do it. I love the animations for when you're repairing stuff. It just miraculously goes back together. So funny. So this is the Prawn laboratories, or part of it. See, look at all this stuff. Look at the prawn suits hanging, man. It's so exciting. And I don't think I did find some other blueprints that I already had here. The thing about the blueprints are they're not just there's not just like you can only find this blueprint. I mean, some of them are like that, but not all the blueprints are. They're only here. They have them spread out. You know, like there's the blueprint for the sea moth. You can find it at multiple different places. So they make it where you don't have to. I mean, it truly gets it back into a sandbox type game. Now there are a total, I believe, of 5 or 4 of the prawn suits. So you have to scan all the you have to scan all the pieces, components in order to make it. Now I plan on making it in the next episode we do, getting all the materials, then coming on, and we're going to make it, and we're going to start playing around with it and look for some of the upgrades. Now there are upgrades. You can put a drill bit on it. Some of those bigger nodes that we saw, they're like 2 or 3 times the size of a regular node. Those are what you can do with the prawn suit, and you can get a lot more material out of it. The prawn suit is really freaking cool. It's just basically like think of Fallout, the exosuits. I mean, it's just like that. There's another piece. And it took me a while to figure out what I needed to do because I kept scanning. I kept scanning the wrong pieces, or trying to find them. And the last one took me forever to find. I kept thinking it was the one out there in the water, but it was actually really obvious. Now, there is a way to like jump around things in this, and I did it pretty successful, but there's nothing up here. I wish you could scan the desk though that had the like the icons on it and the interface. Now this is where all the living quarters are. This is where I found a ton of things. There's a lot of loot in here, like see water bottles. It got to the point where I didn't take them. I don't need the water bottles, so I quit taking them at that point. Now here's where the fire, now there's the vending machine. Now this is the one thing I was kind of excited about when they added into the game. I remember when it was in the beta branch, or the testing branch I guess you would say, it was pretty buggy. The one thing about this game is they do have the normal branch, which is what we play in, where you can play your game modes or whatnot. But they also have like a beta branch where you can play it. It's the new, it's the kind of like the what's coming type thing. A lot of games do that nowadays, and I think that's pretty cool. Give opportunity for people to test them out and try it out, what you're going to be bringing to the game. It does not have all the content out there, but it does have a pretty good amount of the big meat and bones that need to be tested. Now, when this was in the beta branch, the vending machine stuff, that branch, there's a lot of broken things to it, so it kind of wasn't fun. I mean, it kept breaking a lot. I kind of steered away from it and quit doing the experimental branch for it. And there's some more posters. And this is the trash can, which we already had. Another supply crate, more distilled water. I love the little board. It's freaking cool. I love that stuff. Now, there are some PDAs you want to get in here. I haven't read through them all yet. We'll go through that on the next time. And we'll talk about all the PDAs. That's the one thing I like about this game is there's a huge story line to it. There's a huge amount of interaction trying to figure out what the whole process, what all happened. And this is like a story within a story. It's your story that takes place in current time about something that happened maybe 1,000 years ago on this planet. You come to find out that this planet was actually not 100% submerged underwater. Over a period of time, it just slowly started happening. Now, what caused that? Nobody knows. They haven't touched on that part of the story yet, so you don't really know what's going on there. Some of these rooms I tried to get into, I couldn't. I didn't have a code for it. You can't cut through them or anything like that. You can't replace. You can't fix any of these gaping holes in the ship. I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot of living quarters in here and a lot of rooms. This is where you can get the bed blueprint. You can get the vending machine, like we talked about, and you get the trash can blueprint, the bar, the table. You get, I mean, 1, 2. You probably walked away with 8 or 9, I think, total blueprints out of here. It's pretty amazing. You got the bench. I mean, there was a lot of stuff. Now the bags, the luggage bags, you can actually put stuff in. When they first introduced them into the game, in the normal game, you couldn't do crap with them. They're just there. It was kind of frustrating too. And I got all excited because I thought I had these codes for these rooms, and I didn't. I couldn't do nothing with them. Yeah, it kind of sucked. I might have the codes. I just don't know it. I haven't looked at all the PDA stuff, so that's why I want to go through it. There's still some rooms we need to go back and look at, which I figure we'll do that at a later time. But, I mean, like I said, they keep adding content in here, so they might not have given the codes for it yet. I think kind of like how the Forest did it. When, they had the door there forever, but you couldn't approach it. And then everybody got cute, thought, hey, we'll sneak up, we'll find a way to get to the door, and they glitch or bug to it. And there's a lot of YouTubers who said, oh, we opened the door, did the whole little clickbait stuff. And they opened the door and went through it, but there was the game, they hadn't added it, so it's not going to be there to even look at. There's some games that do put that stuff in there, and they want you to find it. They challenge you to find it and think it's cool if you do. Like Hello Neighbor. Hello Neighbor is notorious for that. They put so much stuff in there behind the scenes that they want you to find. I think they sit back and laugh because that's not going to be the full game. It's like when Hello Neighbor first came out, it's totally different now than what it was then. They just used the concept and the idea of what they're going to make the game out of, and they made a game. I mean, it's crazy. It's like making Hello Neighbor 1, then Hello Neighbor 2, now Hello Neighbor 3. So who knows how they're going to end up with that game when it finally gets done. So this is where we continue to explore. I got tied up in here for quite a while because I just wanted to search, see if I found anything else cool in here. I literally went through every room I possibly could. Found the picture. That picture's in a lot of the lockers, so Apparently she gets around. I don't know what's up with that, but you know, everybody seemed to like her. There's another duffel bag. At this point, my inventory is full. The bags take up a lot of inventory space, which you can see right there. I mean, it's just, you know, having that tank in there in my inventory, but then that bag is ridiculous. There she is again. So I found a lot. That's the other thing is, so in this, and when you go through the Aurora for the first time, you'll find a lot of blueprints. You'll find a lot of med kits. You'll find a lot of batteries, power cells, food, and water. So this is a good place to be able to get to. And finding the radiation suit, you don't have to make it. And in the beginning, when the game first came out, you know, you had to make it. You had to go find the materials. And it was hard to make, because it really is. It's still a craftable item in there, but you can actually find all the pieces for the radiation suit, not blueprints for it, but find the actual radiation suit at one of the crash pods. And when you first come into the game, you know, you start getting the distress signals from other life pods that popped off the ship, and that's how you find them. So, and this is why it's so important to carry fire extinguishers around with you now in this game. It's like, what are you going to do with the fire extinguisher? What's the point of it? Well, now they made a point of it. It's kind of funny in that way. So there's nothing else I could get into this room. Couldn't cut into it either. So, you know, que sera, sera. So now we're going to go back in. We're going to go. That's the other room I found too. Look at this. There's literally so much to search for in here. And you would expect that off the Aurora because it was such a huge ship. And I think it let down a lot of people when the game first came out, that they didn't have a lot of that opened, and they didn't have a lot of it you could go into. I mean, legitimately, when in the first episode we did of this, part 1 of this, where I went the first time was how you used to get into the Aurora, and then they completely changed it. Now that way's blocked off, and you have to go all the way around and go through all those other rooms and explore the ship before you can get to the core part of it, before you can actually get into these areas. I will honestly say, though, that out of all the games I play, that Subnautica is like easily at the top of my list, and would probably be the #1 game I like the most if it was multiplayer, because it's a survival game, of course, but you have the threat aspect, you have enemies in it, and some tough enemies that you can't mess with. You got awesome vehicles. The whole fact that you can make a submarine and make your own base, a mobile base, is just awesome. To me, that's like the favorite thing about the game. When I first started playing it, that was like the one thing I wanted to get to as quick as possible, was get to making the sub. Now here we are trying to find the last piece of the prawn suit after I got distracted just going through all those rooms. Now I think it's the one out there in the water. It is not. It's actually over here to the left, which we keep going by. And I'm showing this part of it because, one, you need to see that no matter what you do, no matter where you go, you cannot scan that last piece because you already scanned it once, and it's not a scannable item. Because if you find a blueprint, multiple blueprints, you scan them, you typically get titanium for scanning. Basically, you get something like a certain amount of titanium. Now, that's where you can find one of the other fire extinguishers. Another reason why I'm showing this clip is because you can actually go down in there, and there's a fire extinguisher just laying down, so you can grab it up, and it helps. Because, like I said, if you don't come over here to the fire extinguishers, you can find them. However, you're going to have to search for them. And it's pretty cool. I mean, there's not a lot down here, but they really did put a lot of effort into it. And you can't fix none of it. I tried to see if I could fix anything just to see. Nah, didn't happen. So now, though, once we get the prawn suit, though, we're pretty much getting ready to keep going with this game. The last update they did for Subnautica introduced the fully done thermal room. Now they've also are showing a new Leviathan model, which looks pretty freaking scary and apparently does a lot more damage. See, here's where I try the code, thinking I can jump up on these cargoes. I mean, I treat this game like it's a puzzle, because some of it is a puzzle and some of it's really not. It looks like it is, but it really is not meant to be that way. I mean, the ship still feels like it's about to blow up. It shakes constantly. It's crazy. I mean, look, I get right as close as I possibly can, and it's just not a thing. I even get on that one, which I fall through, and then finally I just give up. I come to terms with the fact that this ain't happening. I start getting a little frustrated. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little frustrated thinking, you know, crap. I got all the way over here, did all this. Where's the rest of the prawn suit? Do I have to go somewhere else for it? Started second guess myself. All the prawn suit is here. It's very easy to get to. Don't focus on the obvious though. That's the problem. Because the last piece of it, which that's where we came from here, by the way. So I look down here to see if there's any other way to go. Prawn Bay, okay. We're going back. And I just keep looking around, and then it dawns on me where it's at. And it's pretty obvious. We're looking right at it right now. This is the last piece right here. Or is it? So I put all the fires out I possibly can, thinking I need to get closer to everything. But this is actually the last piece. This is the main hub. I guess the main body part you get. I guess like the capsule part that locks you in for breathing and whatnot. But that's where all the prawn suit is. That scanner is so buggy, sometimes drives me nuts. So now we have the prawn suit, people. So be looking forward to another episode. We're gonna make the prawn suit. I don't think we're gonna jump right into going after the thermal thing, because we're gonna have to do upgrades, because you can't just take the prawn suit as it is, go down that deep. I can't remember what the depth is off the top of my head. I built the prawn suit before and played with it, but we got to get the upgrades, and we got to get the what's it called, the pressure compensator for it, so it can go down deeper. We need that for the there's another battery. We need that for the sea moth, not for the sea moth. We need it for the sea moth. We need it for the Cyclops as well. So yeah, the game's coming leaps and bounds. And they've generally done a lot for this. They've done a lot for it. I mean, the community, the developers. It's a fun game. Now you can get some of the Cyclops engine pieces here early game, which are pretty beneficial. Because if not, you're gonna. Well, I went all over the place looking for the Cyclops pieces, and I mean, legitimately took forever to do it. So, I mean, I would encourage you guys. The first thing you do when you get into the game is kind of get yourself settled and surviving in your little life pod, but don't go out and building a base like I did right off the bat. Focus on going to those distress signals and getting the information. Try finding the Sea Glide fragments and use the Sea Glide to get where you need to go. So you can jump over these boxes. That's what I ended up doing. I thought I couldn't when I was trying to finish the video up. I went back looking everywhere I possibly could. Couldn't get out, I thought at the time, but I was able to get out through there and make it back home safely. So we're back at base. We got the prawn blueprint. We've got all these other buildable blueprints. So the next couple episodes are going to be fun. We're going to be focused on getting the prawn suit going, upgrading the base a little bit, and then going out and exploring and getting deep. So I've been Bloodstalker. This has been Subnautica. Until next time, peace out, y'all.